All right, here we are. Here's the real translation of the conference. Oh man, it's getting to the emotional part of the drama. We have Hee Jin crying at the conference as she defends herself on live television and getting dragged by chat. It is I feel so bad, man. I feel so bad. Again, remember this whole situation. Remember the victims of this, you know, who's going to be impacted. It can't just like throw out accusations left and right? Like I hate to be in her position. It is such an uphill battle the whole way. So here we go. Hee Jin, producer of the girls group ADOR, of girls group NewJeans, CEO of ADOR, met with press on Thursday afternoon. And then it starts. She says, I want to speak candidly today. I'm not a celebrity, so the sounds of cameras are difficult for me. Please, could you turn off the flash? Already she is struggling right off the bat. She says no flash, please turn off the flash. Like I can't imagine being up on that podium and then you just hear oh, when she was crying while talking about I didn't even know. Like I heard like they were calling her, like trying to calm her down, make sure everything's okay. And then here you have the Lulu fandom like just attacking her and saying, oh my god, like how could you use them like this? Like look. Everything's part of everything, right? You can't. Everyone's dragged in at this point, whether she wants to do it, whether she's doing it on purpose, whatever it is, they're now part of it. And we just have to accept that it might not be as clear-cut as we think, right? I still think that she is more innocent than the media portrays her to be. Innocently, as in like, still might be guilty of some things, right? But not in the degree that the media portrayed. We already see the media flip turn 180 in like a day. Apparently Korea, the population, like the media, the mass, is already flipping off the side of HYBE onto her side. And people are already noticing how much that, like how suspect it puts HYBE in the spotlight. Like it just seems very, very sus. Way more sus than it should be. So already she's struggling with the flash. I can't speak with all these lights pointed at me. Please stop. Remember, she is not a K-pop idol. She is not built to handle this. She is a behind-the-scenes brainchild that comes up with concepts, right? She is an employee. She is not, well, she is the CEO, so she has to deal with this at some point. But, you know, remember, she is probably not used to the limelight like this. I don't know. I haven't seen her in anything previously. I tried to look up like previous interviews. There weren't that many go off. Not that much that's on camera anyway. Not in terms of this press conference. But remember, she is a CEO. So she does have to deal with crowds like this. So if she can't, you know, that also looks bad on her end. I'm telling you to leave, but this is just so difficult for me right now. We have a lot to say today, reporters are told. Important things will be discussed, so we ask you, please stop taking photos for now. I guess it's like very distracting when all the cameras are just popping off. I've become involved, here, let me zoom in a little bit. I've become involved in a lot of rumors. In tandem with NewJeans' new music, I wanted to tell my story after NewJeans' music. I was not expecting the audit at all. Remember, the audit came out of nowhere, right? And I gotta think back, like this whole thing started, she raised an issue and then HYBE went public with it and then started auditing, asking her to step down, all this stuff. Because she's been raising this issue not like one day out of nowhere. She's been like pushing this. Like she just wants answers, right? It began so suddenly on Monday. HYBE is going forward with a public relations strategy stronger than it does with his artists. The fact that like all this blew up into this size says something. It says a lot. Am I literate and knowing exactly what it says? No, but I can get an idea that HYBE is doing way too much, like way more than it should. I've become a witch. I'll go over that in a second. My top priority is to clear my name, and the second is to reveal the truth of what happened. It will be a long event today because the ways I and HYBE perceive the situation are very different. Already here, HYBE is going forward with a public relations strategy stronger than it does with an artist. I've become a witch. This part, her one friend is a shaman. So she went to talk to her friend. When you're going through a difficult situation, of course you're going to talk to a friend. You're going to talk to a close loved one. You're going to talk to someone that you're close with, someone that you can trust. It just so happens that her one friend is a shaman. So then the accusations, allegations, all this stuff comes out that she talked to a shaman to pray for the downfall of BTS, of these other groups casting shamanistic rituals. Where the hell did that even come from? Like I get that maybe you shouldn't drag BTS into the situation, right? Saying like, hey, they're copying me without all the proof. I get that there is a lot of finger pointing, but the public shouldn't take and run with the shaman thing. Like, it was just so ridiculous. It's difficult for me to speak in an interview, even in a nice environment, she goes on. But seeing the photo reporters, it feels like you don't treat me like a person. I keep thinking, do they want me to die? Will people be happy if I die? I don't check the comments because that would kill me. I don't think anyone I have been bombarded with such press release in a short amount of time. I believe I'm innocent. I don't know what you think, but I want to focus on NewJeans. Again, she just wants to focus on NewJeans. I believe this because she's not the one that sparked this public event. Hello, welcome. So here already, I can already see like how dangerous Korean social media is. It's a bit better than the US in terms of trolling, because in order to go on Korean social media, you need to put your social security number online, which is like your Korean security number. They don't really have something similar to social security number, but it's like a Korean social media number. So anything you say will be accountable and you will be held to you. The trolling in the US is like out of control because you can just make a random account, say the most insane shit, get banned and move on with your life and go back to your main account. In Korea, you can't really do that. But even so, I can still see some people making death threats and stuff like that, which is never okay. No matter how much you dislike a person, how much you dislike a situation, death threats, 100% not okay. And people are going to do as much damage as they can because people are pretty much assholes at the end of the day. Like, a lot of people are assholes. We see like the insane stuff on Knet, and we see how fickle and how quick to action some of these people are. So I see why she would want to hold a press conference to just make sure that she gets like the right information out there, because people are just spreading fake news like wildfire. In terms of accusation, I did not expect such attention would be focused on me. I never expected that way. They would monitor my Kakao talk chats and want to kill me. I am eager to speak, so it'd be strange for me not to. I resort to holding this event at such a short notice. They're hitting me with the management seized frame, and I cannot agree. I know that's what you read, but when I speak about the plagiarism issue, it's like people dismiss me and think I'm talking about something completely different. I think this part's crazy, because every single person, I feel like if you monitor someone's chat logs enough, you will find dirt, you will find stuff, right? But maybe you shouldn't, I feel like maybe you shouldn't talk about a lot of this mutiny stuff on public emails. I think that's like a lesson we can take away from here. Yeah, it was so much bombardment in such a short period of time. Been addressed as a laptop issue. They took the vice CEO's laptop and took the conversation I had. For me, this feels like the greatest scam of all. Oh, I know I'm a sinner in your eyes, but HYBE CEO Park Joo used to be so close to me until recently. Until lately. And everyone who attacks me has been thinking, what started all this? She just raised an internal issue. She wanted to handle this internally, and then it became public. Min details her own actions. I made an internal report. Here it is, which I hope would be addressed formally by the company. So many things have stemmed from there. So there are stories that I wanted to tell. I've been living in hell for the past 2 days. I've ironically come to realize that I have a lot of friends. It's allowed me to look back on my life, but going back to the beginning, it should never become such a serious thing. Damn. Interns to address HYBE's executives. The things I want to talk about comfortably with Park Ji-won have made me the grumpy old woman. The things that I've been saying with my vice CEO are just things we discuss out of intimacy. Yes, some things went over line, but it's because the conversations have been out of context where you're from. If someone framed you a certain way and edit your own conversation, it'd be easy to make a news story out of it. Exactly. If we take any person's Xbox Live chat logs from back in the day, or even like right now, you could easily turn every single person on Xbox Live into a criminal, right? Like, there are things you say to like your close friends. Maybe you shouldn't, maybe, you know, but it's like, in the US, I feel like a lot of this would be like, you know, some type of infringement of privacy. Like, but again, maybe you shouldn't talk about it on company equipment, right? Because again, that is company property. And here we have a photo of MHJ, visibly upset. I've always been the person who has to break the given frame. That was difficult about my work and life, but I've been so desperate these past few days on whether this is right. I've actually not been happy even though NewJeans is successful. And people ask me whether I was. And that sucks, because she pushed NewJeans out. She made NewJeans. NewJeans is actually generating a profit for ADOR. They're doing well. And then this whole situation, like, she can't even be happy that they're successful. It's actually brutal. The conference turns to girl group NewJeans. But even when NewJeans told me they love me and thank me like their parent, I've never agreed with people suspecting me or thinking that I love NewJeans like a fan. I've never liked the idol culture. My goal has always been to make my work in a clean, confident way. That's been my focus. It was difficult for me to talk about things that interfere with my work. I just can't agree with HYBE saying that I did all this because of money. Everything that HYBE is saying is a lie. I've never said BTS copied me. Whoa! Whoa, here we are. She said she never said this. So now the onus is on HYBE to prove that she said that they're copying. That she said that BTS copied her. So this is a very bold statement, right? Because we know that some of the stuff that they're saying isn't a lie. But because I feel like MHJ doesn't have like a PR team, she's not very good at dealing with this situation right now. Take on a context leak in a media such a K-drama. It's like, you want to talk about MHJ being evil? Just turn around and look at who you're defending. There's been so much non-evidence, like he said, she said, this whole entire time. Min directly addresses HYBE. Alright, here's a picture of her talking. They said I said something along the lines of BTS copying me, which has worked to build up a certain frame against me. So again, HYBE is trying to use the BTS fandom against her, trying to build up this army to take her down. Referring to recent claims that ADOR executives emulate the work of previous K-pop idols for NewJeans, that's built up to people believing that I don't deserve NewJeans with trying to take over HYBE. But I really want to ask, how can they do this to me? Why would they make this very strange person? I have not been sleeping. I almost collapsed coming here. I know that this may be a last chance for me to speak out like this. I joined Big Hit Entertainment as chief brand officer, not Source Music. I've never tried to hijack control of ADOR. As an employee, you complain about your job and your boss. So this already, like, we see what happens when you complain a little bit in this big company. One little fuss and they're willing to turn around and turn you into the enemy of the entire brand. Min denies HYBE's claims that she attempted to seize control of ADOR. I have no idea where the usurper frame came from. We just said these things and said HYBE has 80% of the company. You have to know all the stories to understand this. Min's attorney, Lee Suk-mi, takes the stage. It just cannot be a breach of trust. When you say breach of trust, it's when it actually leads to damaging a company. There was no incident when Min tried to diminish company value. Again, they said they found documents in the audit, right? But we haven't seen those documents. We haven't seen what she was trying to do. They just said she was trying to get like external investors. Like, that sounds so vague to me, right? It could be like she's talking to someone that's saying, hey, you should buy NewJeans CDs. That's an investor? You know, like, I don't know. At this point, it could be anything. It could be a guy buying a t-shirt from a NewJeans concert. The attorney says you cannot plot the breach trust. That just doesn't count like that. I'm actually looking forward to a return they're filing to the police. Min speaks again. It's not me that turned my back on HYBE. It's HYBE that betrayed me. It used me to the fullest and now wants to take me down because I don't listen to them. No one has done what I've done during the 30 years in K-pop. But HYBE is still trying to kill someone who's done that. I have as the head of a subsidiary. When I quit SM Entertainment, that was also followed by rumors that I turned my back on them. You have to know that I am a strange person. I left entertainment because SM founder Lee Soo-min thought that I was smart. It was difficult, but I worked hard. I'm not following this part. Is it because they clashed? Lee Soo-min thought I was smart. It was difficult, but I worked hard. So she quit SM because she had, I guess, a clash with the founder. Like, they didn't jive. Right, like, the guy has so much ISO merch. Is he an external investor? Is Jagumi the one, like, that is actually has ownership of the company at this point because he has so much merch? We don't know. We don't know, right? Like, again, it seems like HYBE needs to come out and make their statement on their side with evidence. But they haven't. They just put a lot of blame. Min continues discussing her experience at SM Entertainment. I tried to expand my work and didn't quit. Where is it? Alright. I am not chill today. I am very, very aggressive. But his work and mindset changed with time and I became disappointed. Okay, so that's why she quit. But I always told him, I'll tell you this because I think of you as my father. At the end, I told him I would leave him because I want to do something new, and SM Entertainment was not a place where I could make it happen. He asked me whether I wanted to take some time off, then lead a new label, or a place at SM Entertainment. But I never wanted an executive place. That wasn't my goal. They didn't let me go for 3 months. Then I just quit. So what, they held her hostage at SM Entertainment? Jesus Christ. Dude, she is... HYBE actually fucked up. They try to make a hit piece about her, and then it just turned out, and she's blowing up HYBE at the moment. She's exposing all the dirtiness that's happening throughout all of HYBE's companies. Like you have to understand that you have a wild horse on your hands, and it is only going to get wilder if you try to wrangle her in without like actually making sure you wrangled her in first. Like you're in the process of doing it, and then you just like shook the hornet's nest in it in boomer speak. In terms of industry as a whole, I've been fed up with the long-lasting ills of the K-pop industry, but it was that I was good at my work rather than I liked it. I feel that, man. I feel that. I held on because of achievements that I made, but just 2 days later, I got a call from a headhunter. They told me someone wanted to see me, but didn't tell me who. It was HYBE founder Bang Si-Hyuk, the person who attacks me now, as if it was okay for me to kill myself. I don't want to talk badly about them. I don't want to talk trash. I'm just saying what I've been experiencing. So far, it doesn't seem like she's this hostile, insane woman that K-pop social media leads me to believe. Like, I'm more like the company stands are out of control. I don't know how you can stand an entire company in 2024 with companies doing bad shit left and right. Like they're not looking after your well-being. The only well-being that they care about is if that well-being will drive them profits. They're companies. All they care about is profits. Can we see the data, please? Min asks. Yeah, I also want to see the data. We haven't seen any of the data. The audit, the accusations, it's all based off thin air. I haven't seen anything being produced. And then turns on the screen behind her, revealing screenshots. So then here's the part in the conference where she shows like texts. Like she's actually revealing stuff. Yeah, where's the lamb sauce? Bang Si-Hyuk told me that I become a successful fan. She continues, referring to the period of time before she accepted a role at HYBE. I'll treat you better than a board member. He told me that I wanted to fulfill my creative potential. I was thankful, and I told him I wouldn't let him down. He told me to build the Hee Jin world. I thought we could create synergy together. I feel like she got baited, dude. Who's the manipulator now? Like so yeah, this was NewJeans. So they wanted her to come in to make NewJeans, right? I assume this is the right before she came in to make NewJeans. But this sounds like he is trying to convince her to come on board and is willing to say anything. The manipulation is not on MHJ's side, allegedly. Min continues discussing HYBE's leader. What I wanted to do at first was HYBE branding, turning the Big Hit Entertainment into a holding company. I also took the making of a girl group because he said he wasn't confident in making a girl group. I took it on knowing that it would be a lot of work. He promised me full support, but there wasn't a label called ADOR. So ADOR hasn't been made yet. And here is her sending screenshots. Oh my god, they text using emojis. She's... Oh my god, Hee Jin, producer of the girl NewJeans, unveils past Kakao talk. So yeah, here she is unveiling her Kakao talk. Min turns to HYBE boy band BTS. It was before HYBE bought Source Music. Bang Si-Hyuk was the chairman of HYBE. What he suggested was Big Hit has more fans because of BTS. We needed to make a new girl group label, so let's buy Source Music. They have trainees, so why don't we use them to debut a new girl group? I said no at first, but I wanted to be cooperative because I just moved to a new company. So eventually this did go through. They did buy Source Music. Source Music is under HYBE, and then Source Music eventually leads to produce Le Seraphim. the Min Hee Jin world, ooh woo. And then she said, oh yes, of course. I'm the kind of person who has to start everything from scratch, but I thought I would bend this to his will. I know that it would been the best for me to spend my own money and make a label. The reason I joined the company was because it had a set system, the family, the employees. It was easier for me to pay them. But if you make a new company, you inevitably become poor. Yeah, we've seen this in the K-pop industry. A lot of small companies come out, they try to debut, and then they just flop, right? The Nugus, the Who's of K-pop, right? Like we have tons of groups coming out under individual labels that they solely want to be a K-pop group. They don't have any other businesses going into the industry. We see B-Wave, we see another group, we see what is it? Viv, right? We see like a lot of other smaller groups. And it's so competitive and cut through. 50-50, example of a group that got big and still didn't make it. Still didn't make it. They have the biggest hit song, Cupid. And then because of management, they still didn't make it. And it was like $5 in a dream, right? The CEO literally had to like pawn off stuff to just make sure that they could debut. Can I get a better track? Oh, this is good. This is good. But I wanted to fulfill my potential. It wasn't about making money. Getting investors involved would have been so difficult for me as a woman. I've seen so many dirty things, so I thought, let's just join a company and get paid. That's fair. That's fair. Why would you want to like start a company and then work really hard if your mind and your heart's not into it, right? Like, it's a lot of stress. I've always felt alone. We didn't see eye to eye. Bang Si-Hyuk wanted to benchmark Billie Eilish, but I wasn't sure. So this is when they wanted to debut NewJeans as a Billie Eilish type of girl group. To copy the styles of Billie Eilish, the Billie Eilish concept. Then COVID-19 came. It became difficult. Source Music had G-Friend. Disbanding that group had nothing to do with me. Let me just emphasize that. So here she is. She says it has nothing to do with her. I think more research needs to be done. I don't know the basics behind this, but she is saying that it has nothing to do with her, right? Maybe there's some knowers in the chat, maybe there's some lore masters, but at this moment, seems like a lot of people are blaming her for a lot of things, and everyone's trying to paint her as this evil person, because you know what? You did research, it was BS? I believe it was BS. You know why? Because in this, it seems like in this industry, allegedly, it's easier to paint someone as a bad guy. And then if you paint one person as a bad guy, then everybody else seems to just pile along and paint that person as a bad guy. So then, you know, it looks good for the group. That explains why the K-pop fandom has such a hate train, right? Because I feel like the hate train is like kind of astroturfed and generated, allegedly, by these companies. That's what it seems like. Because you can't have this like huge hate train if all the companies are saying, hey, we should like get along, be like, you know, focus on what really matters, stuff like that. There has to be some behind the scenes of it going. We've seen some K-dramas where that is like plausible, right? But again, that's TV, and the reality is very different. But it's not like entirely impossible. They say Source Music got bankrupt, leaning on this band G-Friend because all MHJ told them. If it's trainees that they weren't even using anyway, like I don't know. How is it tell me this. How is it possible for MHJ to take all these trainees out of nowhere all of a sudden, but they literally can't, like, you know, they want me to believe that they're not capable of debuting Islet like instantaneously, right? I think all these things they have a process. If MHJ took the trainees, it's because other groups allowed her to take them, right? And someone signed off on it. Maybe she had some more pull. Maybe she was partially responsible for something else that disbanded G-Friend, right? But for the whole industry to solely blame her is like, it's just lazy thinking. It's just 100% lazy thinking. It's like, yeah, it'll be so easy to just blame MHJ for everything and then just move on, right? And then paint her as this evil person. Again, they don't want to think. They don't want to do research. They don't want to dig. They just want to believe the next thing and then move on to the next meme and laugh and shit on the next person because it's funny and edgy, right? And is that the K-pop fandom you want to be a part of? Min continues discussing Source Music, the hype society behind girl groups Le Sserafim. I've never been at Source Music. I don't make friends at work. I don't go to company outings. So even if they're training at Source Music, excuse me for going here and there. There was no one other than Minji that I could recruit. Oh shit. Damn! Source Music wasn't a well-branded company and HYBE wasn't even branded back then. So what HYBE told me was, Hee Jin girl group. Let's intrigue people with that. And what would a girl group from BTS agency look like? HYBE said that people would become curious. So at this point, HYBE didn't even have a girl group, right? That's what it sounds like. So they recruited Hee Jin, and then it seems like the public started to hear about this, and then this is the part where they debuted Le Sserafim, and then some people probably thought that Le Sserafim was Hee Jin's like project. Again, when Islet debuted, we thought it was a NewJeans copy, as in like they worked together to create this. So the public perception of groups coming out is very different than what's actually happening. And then now we're realizing that Hee Jin had nothing to do with Islet. I began branding an audition starting from there. I had to brand the whole thing because there's no other group for people to see. Hani was the first person we cast with the new branded idea. Min details the formation of ADOR girl group NewJeans. There was a lot of applicants, but not that we could cast. The other 3 trainees were cast after we started on another round under the motto BTS's girl group. Danielle, Heron, and Hee Jin joined us. So here's the group. Here's the group. But there's also like 5 more members, right? Because NewJeans had like 10 members at one point. I controlled because I was in charge of creative work. There were trainees other than NewJeans members, but I pushed through because I thought that would be a good fit. Was that if that's what's behind, then it seems so. It seems like she's the brainchild behind that as well. Anyway, came COVID-19, Bang Si-Hyuk, and I started thinking differently. Main recalls. Don't. Bang Si-Hyuk said that he didn't know what to say, but I had a clear vision of what I wanted to do. Bang Si-Hyuk didn't like it. There were differences, but the moment that it fell apart was, HYBE really needs to look back on its actions. How could you treat me like this? What angers me so much is in June or July 2021, soon after Park Ji-won joined a young company from a game company, he wanted to become close to me. So Park Ji-won, this is what is it? This is yeah, that's the CEO. Wait, who's Bang Si-Hyuk? He is the B-Lift guy, right? No, he is a chairperson. Okay. So the CEO, I'm not too familiar with the difference between these two. So this is the chairperson and this is the CEO. Okay. Founder of BTS, joined a young company from game 1 and became close to me and became friends. Similar ages too. G1 and Source. So the Source Music founder, Sunjin, said HYBE's first girl group would have to be a new girl group from Source Music with Sakura and Kim Chae-won. I swear at them saying, are you out of your minds? The trainees all came to me because it was going to be a Hee Jin, not a Source Music girl group. I never knew that they were recruiting Sakura and Kim Chae-won, but they said they were debuting that group first. I said I was going to quit and open a press conference. Park Ji-won asked me that what he could do to make up for the situation. So here we see that they wanted her to come on to make a girl group, basically a girl BTS. And then they turn around and debuted Le Sserafim. What I don't know and what I wasn't there for was Le Sserafim, when they first was debuted, did people call it the Hee Jin group, right? Because under the company, if they debuted as like the female BTS under HYBE, then it kind of makes sense because it's under the company and BTS is part of the same company. So it would make sense to make a girl group. Like the boy group that comes out of Universe League, we're going to be like, oh yeah, that's the Unis boy group. Like, you know, that's the Universe ticket version. No, so it seems like this part, it kind of sucks that they debuted it first, but it doesn't seem like her name had much attached to it, right? It just kind of sucks that here's the situation. We said you're going to come on and you're going to be able to make a girl BTS group, but we're going to debut this other group first. Kind of sucks. She said she was going to quit, and then Park Ji-won asked me what they could do. So, what did they do? They called it the group that disbanded G-Friend. So, at this point, ADOR wasn't even a thing. They were all still basically under Source, right? No, so they did make ADOR. The formation of ADOR. Okay. And then they didn't debut NewJeans. They debuted Le Sserafim. Okay. She must have. Like, this situation is... Like, they're like, hey, come on, do this project. And then, out of nowhere, someone else releases your exact project. When clearly, you're working on your project, you're trying to get your project out. You must be so confused. Like, what? But the thing is, in a company situation, you could at least talk to someone and then they'll explain to you the situation and then you'll be on your merry way. You'll keep working. But in this case, they seem to just ignore her. They said, hey, don't worry about it. I'd be pissed. I would want to quit too. Like, if that was like my main thing that you hired me to do and then someone else did go and did it. Like, Min continues discussing intentions between the debut Source Music group Le Sserafim. There's a time for everything. You never explained it all the members and their parents. They never apologized to the parents. The parents were so angry. So she had to deal with all the backlash from the parents, essentially. They blamed Source Music because they were afraid that NewJeans might not debut because of the Source Music group, because of Le Sserafim. I didn't want to turn my back on the trainees because I would be abandoning them. They didn't even let me see the girls. Damn. They didn't even let... It's like it sounds creepy to call her like the mother, right? But in a sense, she's like looking out for them as if she was their mother, which is something you can't say about a lot of CEOs or a lot of employees in the industry. And I don't know why people are calling her weird and strange for this, but this is something that you should see more of. People being protective. Like, you can't win. If you're protective of your K-pop idols, then you're seen as creepy. But if you're not, you're a greedy asshole. Like the industry, they want it every single way. It's actually crazy. Can't win. I told him I'd take these girls because I want to help them debut. I wasn't stealing them. I thought that ADOR would be good for the girls and the shareholders, but Bang Si-Hyuk said he wouldn't let me do this unless the company held a 100% stake. But it was my branding and my creation. I don't understand why Park Ji-won tried to bridge the gap between me and Bang Si-Hyuk. Min breaks down the tears while she details escalating tensions between herself and HYBE's higher-ups. Dude, like, they wouldn't even let her make ADOR without HYBE wanting 100% stake. So we know now that she eventually was able to get a 20% stake in the company. But HYBE wanted the entire thing. But she wants her face and brand on it, but they want all of it. They want all the stakes. They want full ownership, even though your face is on the project. Min breaks down the tears while she's details escalating tensions between herself and HYBE's higher-ups. A fight would take months, so I said, okay, to the shares of the company after 3 months. I said I felt like I was giving birth, and I really did. It would have been disgusting to say this to the children, but I did tell the parents that they too were angry at HYBE. We had so much to say to HYBE. Then Park Ji-won came to us and told us not to promote NewJeans before LE SSERAFIM's debut, because they wanted people to think that LE SSERAFIM was Min Hee Jin's girl group. But this also is like, but we already, historically looking back, people didn't think that LE SSERAFIM was Min Hee Jin's girl group, right? But behind the scenes, it seems like they wanted people to think that. But this is very alleged. This is very alleged. If this is true, I can't see why anyone is still on HYBE's side. And the fact that people are like, they can't see through like the memes. That's why they don't have a promotion came out of nowhere. It seems so. It didn't make sense, but everything had begun, so I had no choice but to say yes and just prove it in ways that I could. Min continues, openly weeping. Bang Si-Hyuk asked me, you can beat aespa in December, right? But that was never my goal. Min stands up. I thought that he was a really generous person, but I found out he was different on the outside from what he was on the inside. I know that I look weird to him. He suddenly asked me after NewJeans released Ditto, are you happy? Why are you laughing? I want to know. Why wouldn't I have been happy? Doesn't the conversation seem really weird? Our relationship has changed. Oh, they're like, why are you happy that your group is doing well? It's just, there's so much animosity towards NewJeans from the chairperson. You've changed. Whatever, bro, you've changed. Min begins pointing at the screenshot text message from Park Ji-won projected on the wall behind her. When the hell can we start promoting NewJeans? Min asked. The reason that we separated company was because they broke the promise and debuted as Sakura first. I went on You Quiz on the Block because this was what I wanted to say. Min continues displaying text messages behind her. This doesn't make sense. It's like you're telling us that you'll meddle with our business and you want us to see us do it by ourselves. They expected nothing from us. And that's how I made NewJeans. It's like the stepsisters are bullying me, but I will win. So in this situation, the odds are stacked against her, and she still pushed on and said, fuck it. I'm gonna make NewJeans. We're gonna debut, and we're gonna do it together, in spite of all the challenges. She tears up while speaking during a press conference. It sounds like some insecurity going on, right? Park Ji-won told me that I shouldn't say that NewJeans is a completely new team because they wanted to confuse people. Bin continues still standing. Isn't this true breach of trust, trying to diminish the value of a subsidiary? Like it's just pushing the higher-ups. They never let me promote NewJeans as the first girl group from Min Hee Jin because they intentionally wanted to confuse people. That was all Bang Si-Hyuk's doing. Actual K-drama plot being revealed right here. They want to slander her name and yet use her to the maximum potential at the same time. Which I feel like she have the text or like the logs for this? Because this is like kind of also like a bit of like he said she said, right? But again, it seems like right now the meta in Korean law, in Korean publicity, is you accuse the other person, and if the other person doesn't address your accusations, then you're right and you win. That's what it seems like. So that's why there's so much accusations going on. How much of this is true? Yeah, I'm not saying I'm entirely on her side, but I'm definitely not on HYBE's side at this moment. Min continues detailing her experiences with HYBE's management. Park Ji-won was told by someone, probably Bang Si-Hyuk, to say all the things that he did. So Park Ji-won is now saying Bang Si-Hyuk is responsible. He's just doing his best as a paid employee. Park said, let's push the announcement. I asked him whether he wanted me to lie. He asked me to give him some room. Then he kept asking me to match the Le Sserafim press release. Is this North Korea? He said, what? I'm just asking you as a person. It's not North Korea. Just tell him, Bang Si-Hyuk, that I'm going forward with my plan because I'm the crazy bitch. He asked me not to promote NewJeans. Is this really what should have happened? They went against common sense every single day. So here's the part where like she starts kind of losing it, right? During the press conference. And she starts cursing. And then a public is so focused on the fact that she's going Shibai all throughout the whole interview that they're literally not even listening to her points. And for the people that actually have money, you know, that do run on logic, they went and bought out her sweatshirt. Oh god, the fandom is so serious and unserious at the same time, man. If you guys seen, like, she wore a green sweatshirt to the conference and it's sold out everywhere. Like, people are actually now rallying behind Min Hee Jin. I told him, you are weird people. Do I owe you anything? I'll do what I have to, a sobbing Min continues. When the investor relations team called me the best creator in a memo, they told the team to get rid of the best. It changed from the moment they first hired me. I didn't want to lie, but he kept telling me that was his job to guide me. We used to make jokes to each other, but now I want to ask why they want to kick me out. When did I ever ask BTS to go to the military? What? Is this another, like, accusation that came up? Was she told BTS to go? I mean, they have to go to military. It's part of, like, you know, it's part of Korea. Like, they all have to go to military service. I think Faker is like one of the only ones recently we got an exemption. She's kind of just like so fed up with everything because it is currently 4:01 p.m. This thing started what, 3:05. So it's been an hour at this point of her trying to like address every single little piece of thing that has come out. Min turns to recent allegations that she was coached by a shaman. I asked the shaman because I was just so curious. How are you planning our steps if the Aces team go to military or not? I'm not. Wait, so is she going as a service or is she talking to her friend? Right? Because here's the thing. I'm going to report her for privacy infringement. They're censoring my messages. She is my friend. Can I not have a shaman friend? Again, she just went to her. It seems like she just went to her friend. And they're saying like she went to a shaman to try to cast a ritual or some shit. Right, so she wants to plan some, I guess, because at some point she is like the lead of branding, right? So in order to lead the branding, you have to know further steps or whatever. So she kind of just asking for advice, like, what do I do if our best, like, our money maker, our most profitable team, the face of the company, is going into the military or not? Because she doesn't know at this point. Min continues discussing her shaman friend. I had to get therapy because of HYBE, but if someone there would listen to me, that was why I went to her. Don't you sometimes go? Don't you see things you've been doing? I'm sure they're making these attacks because they're worse in that way. Min, brandishing the remote control, addresses HYBE's leadership directly. I asked Park Ji-won, were they not ashamed of all this? Park Ji-won answered, revenge comes after success. This means that he agreed that what they were doing was wrong. Bang Si-Hyuk, aren't you ashamed of yourself? If I were to cut this bit of the conversation, then Park Ji-won would have been the one trying to seize control. Oh, she's saying that if Min Hee Jin left, Park Ji-won would have been the one to blame for everything that's happening right now. I messaged the parents when I was doing all this because NewJeans just felt like my baby. They really do. They've been calling me and crying at night telling me that they feel so sorry for me. Damn. Min, sobbing, scrolls through the text message on the screen. The mother of the member called me to say that I should tell my story because I'm being witch hunted. They knew that HYBE was trying to make me the witch and Source Music the victim. I would not have been made an internal report if it were about the money. I can make 100 billion won without doing any of this. Oh shit! I'm doing this because I have to speak out. This is me. That's why I'm going through all this. Why would a mother say this? Why can I not be protected? Why do I have to be used by Park Jae-won, by Bang Si-Hyuk? I did everything I could. Part of me believes that this is also like the hostile Korean culture, right? Like I hate to point it out. I hate to say it. Like I'm not attacking Korea as a country, but part of it has this like oppa culture. I don't know if you guys know about this, and I don't know how much this relates to this. But as an older male, there is a sense of superiority that is felt throughout the culture. So I don't know how much of this is like, oh, we could just use her and throw her out and she can't do anything. And the fact that she's fighting back, like they probably never planned for any of this. How many other employees or CEOs have they gotten rid of using this tactic, right? This is just the only one that we know of, allegedly. We don't know. We don't know anything. But we want to find out. And right now, Hee Jin is letting us know. She's providing all this information to us. We have 2 vice CEOs. One of them is really playful, Min shaking her head. They just take memos. That's what they wrote because they knew that I was suffering because of HYBE. I have a weird shareholders contract with HYBE. I can't reveal the details. But is this the part where her lawyers are running forward to say, no, don't say From early this year, we're working on the details because there are unfair terms in the contracts. Cannot say they are because of the confidentiality clause. This is a weird thing I can't say I'm suffering from. The contradictions in the contract is that the 5% of the 20% that I had, the 2% I gave to staff, I can't sell. It's like a slave contract. I have to be bound to HYBE forever. Holy shit. So out of the 20% that she has, 5% is forever with the company based on some weird contract thing. And 2% is what she gave to her staff. She's saying some things that could be misunderstood. The attorney lawyer said. The lawyer had to step in and say, oh, she's saying something that could be misunderstood. Min unperturbed presses on. I do have a business mind, but I majored in art, so I don't know the contract terms. It's confusing. Oh shit. So a venture capitalist friend who I know, I asked what happened with the 5%, and that's how I got in contact with the law firm Kin and Sin. Then HYBE turned that into me consulting an outside consultant. Oh! So she just basically wants to know what part of this contract is saying because she doesn't understand fully. And she got in contact with the law firm. And then HYBE is saying that's her consulting an outside consultant. Damn, they just want to make everything look bad for her. Every little thing. She picked up a piece of fruit. She's now ingesting foreign objects into her body to prepare for the HYBE war. Like Jesus Christ. But what on earth did I discuss with an investor? I could never leave HYBE. Should things go from there, they could starve me to death. See how they copy Islet? But this is my personal thought. I trusted them and signed the contract. That's how I got into this mess. Again, contracts causing the downfall of everybody in the entertainment industry is kind of tale as old as time. Her attorney takes over again. You shouldn't discuss this here. I hate to be her lawyers, man. They're all going like, don't talk about that. No, you can't talk about that. But I really want to say it. Let me say it. No, let me say it. No. We're renegotiating the terms. We have different interests, but the vice CEO did things because they were frustrated. So that attorney said that. We were just messing around when we mentioned the Saudi Arabia fund. Would that even be possible? Sorry, I'm just like this. They were manipulating conversation because it was just so nonsensical. You're just talking about Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund out of nowhere. It's all about honor for me. They know that I care about honor, and they use that against me when I made NewJeans. And I can't abandon them. Park Ji-won, you really need to look back on your actions. If you're watching this, Park Ji-won, you acted like you were my friend. You are my friend. Oh, Park Ji-won. Then you went to Bang Si-Hyuk. He asked me to trust him. The attorney then said, you will all know that seizing control would be impossible. ADOR is doing so well financially, so it will be impossible. We have not been refuting because it doesn't make sense to. But the thing is, it seems like not refuting has taken a turn for its worse because people just don't understand the situation and everyone's just spinning it the way that they want to. So it seems like that sucks, man. You would think it's so obvious that something is nonsensical and crazy, but because they're painting her as a crazy person, they're like, now all the crazy stuff that she says is like is real things, right? Yeah, let's go to Saudi Arabia. Let's move NewJeans to Saudi Arabia. Like, people will actually believe that because they're painting her as insane. I didn't say silent because I'm dumb. It's like Solomon's baby. I'm the mother. Does HYBE really care about NewJeans? They care about NewJeans as a product. I guarantee you that. NewJeans release something tomorrow and they do this. Oh, isn't their debut, not debut, their comeback tomorrow on Friday? They're doing the shaman frame because they couldn't find any dirt on my company card. The only thing I bought was dinner for my late night works. The shaman thing is a little ridiculous. In May? Okay. So that's still soon. That's like next week. HYBE knew the music video was launching, the attorney said. They could have been shot. Oh yeah, next month. But remember, next week is the start of May. So it's right around the corner. Why would they go ahead and release them straight away? Do they have best interests of NewJeans at heart? Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't release this like after their comeback, right? Like give it a week. I don't know. I feel like they're just trying to hurt her as much as possible. And it seems as much as social media wants to paint MHJ as evil and don't care about NewJeans, she cares more about NewJeans than HYBE at this point, from what I'm seeing. So it's crazy stuff. Chat, I think this is it's so much to process. I think we need to take a break. So up to this point, right? We are here at this point where she is saying that the lawyer said seizing control is impossible. She cares about NewJeans, and their comeback is coming up soon. Oh, it's so much to take in. It's so much to take in. Emotionally, my tank needs like a recharge. All right, chat, welcome back. We're back for the drama. All right, so when we left off, at the very last part when we left off, was when she came out and was talking about negotiating the terms and how she was joking around with Saudi Arabia. Hee Jin. What is possibly happening over there? Let me flip myself over. All right, back on this side. Okay. HYBE knew that the music video was launching. They could have been shocked, but why would they go ahead and release it right away? Do they have the best interests of NewJeans at heart? So this is, are they talking about the Islet debut right now? I mean, again, this is lowly. See them releasing the press release just before the press conference. There are so many bastards in this industry. Here she goes. She's throwing out the Shibai. I need to vent. You're depressed now, Park Ji-won. I've been depressed for 10 years. Dude, she's been suffering, man. How do people not appeal to the humanity that is Hee Jin right now? She is literally out here being as human as possible, and everyone's still calling her a monster, a demon. Why would a demon come out and do this? Hee Jin returned the topic of HYBE's Park Ji-won displaying more text messages with the executive. Park Ji-won agreed that Bang Si-Hyuk bullied me. This is all on him. He tried to exploit me. I listened to Park Ji-won because I respected him. But had they captured this conversation, then this would also been used against me. I've become a psycho in the past 3 days. If she was such a psycho, why would they hire her? Why would they bring her onto these projects? Why would they make her a CEO, right? Why can't I say what I want? Why didn't they just come to me and ask me all this? Like, again, she literally wants to solve all this internally. She literally started an internal discussion, but then HYBE was like, no, we're gonna make this public. We're gonna turn this into the most public matter. Our executive salaries come up. They keep silent to look good to their bosses. They said that they gave me 5 billion won, but I only got 2 billion won. They want to use her ideas and they want to use her image, allegedly. Park Ji-won got 1 billion won despite the minus at his company. Why does he get more? I did all this in a barren land. Was HYBE really treating me right? I said I couldn't trust them after they did the NewJeans despite their success. How could I trust them? Min points again at the text exchange project behind. Was I fooled for believing Park Ji-won when he asked me to trust him? I forgot Park Tae-hee. Who is Park Tae-hee? Referring to HYBE's chief creative officer. Wow, the press. Please put all your effort into your artists. I become the victim of libel and false rumors. It's similar stories from here onward. Min returns to HYBE's legal allegations against her. If you try to kill a subsidiary that's doing well, that's breach of trust. That's going against shareholders' right. That's true. That's true. Why would you kill NewJeans if NewJeans is doing well? Like, ADOR, like, if it's doing well, why would you, like, for the shareholders, right? Like, if you are tanking your stock price on purpose, right? Which is not what she's really doing. She's actually trying to defend the stock price. But she wants to make sure that she comes out of this ahead too. Like, they're just human. High payola, yeah, I mean, obviously they're gonna use money to promote their own things, right? So I don't think like using money, like HYBE using money to promote their own labels and stuff is bad, right? But if you show specific favoritism towards one of your groups and not the other ones, then that's bad. If you promote all your groups somewhat equally, then yes. But this is like, from what we've seen, they literally did not help NewJeans at all, and NewJeans kind of did this all on their own. And HYBE hasn't come out and said anything against that. All they've been doing is trying to like slander and take her down with like press media, which is kind of nutty. I try saying things nicely. I told him not to mess with our VPs. I never pass on a fight to others. I fight for them. I've been offered so many places even during my time here. I got calls from investors on the second and third day of this whole thing, even though I thought their reputation had been ruined. You have to understand that she didn't plot anything, the lawyer says. Yeah, I'm just saying that they've been getting calls for investment. So she has like calls for investment, but not in the way that she's investing to take over the company. She's getting calls as in like they want her to leave and go work for the other companies, because it seems like if other people are calling her and Hee Jin to go work for these other companies, then they probably know that some shady stuff is going on, and they don't truly believe what they see in the press, and they're on MHJ side. Like Hee Jin, she's being painted as this evil person, and why do these other companies want her to work for them then? Like, obviously she's not evil. Like, why does social media fall for such obvious things? It's crazy. World where everyone do anything for money. I did all this and 16 billion won. Her attorney cuts her off. I know that I could be misunderstanding, so after 2 or 3 years, then suspicions became real. A capable woman and a capable man got married and had plenty children. Min's attorney Lee Suk-mi explains matter-of-factly. They have tested ahead and they try to make it work through a deal, like a shareholders deal, then they just received divorce papers. Then they revealed the divorce paper and the children have a test ahead. This is a situation why Hee Jin is so worked up. But wouldn't you say things and imagine things during a divorce? The things that said are being exaggerated. Again, it 100% seems like she is looking out for the best interest of the girls at heart. She came out, wanted an answer of why they debuted a group so similar to NewJeans, got no answer, and in response, they attacked her and they libeled her, allegedly. So this is everything is coming from Hee Jin's side. I'm curious what HYBE has to say about all this, right? If HYBE comes out and just says she's crazy, don't believe her, she's manipulating, then I literally will not believe anything HYBE says, because their strategy from HYBE side right now seems to be just slander, name calling, or whatever, trying to get them, like, the population like on their side. The audit, like, I haven't seen anything from the audit. I get that you might not want to make some of the audit like stuff public, right? So I get that. But it's, again, even if you have these documents, unless you go to court and win, then the audit means nothing to any of us, right? Because the audit could have said nothing, and then you say the audit says something, and then we have to believe you, right? But we don't have to believe shit. And I urge the populace, I urge the K-pop fans, please think about this a little more. Stop believing. If you hear something and you get emotional right away, that's a red flag. That's how they want you to feel. I urge K-pop fans to think. Use that big brain. I know y'all got it. I know y'all do some big brain edits on TikTok. I know you can use it to think about this situation a little more. I'm not saying pick Hee Jin's side. I'm not saying pick HYBE's side. I'm saying think a little more and stop the name calling. Stop the low IQ fucking shit posts. You know, I get it. It's funny, right? But this is a serious situation. And if you truly want what's best for NewJeans, I think you should educate and think about this a little more. Post this on YouTube. Get ready to get canceled. I know. They're gonna cancel me. They're gonna cancel. They're gonna try, right? But that also means they're fucking stupid. If that's the first thing they want to do when I'm urging them to think about it and dig into the situation a little more instead of just calling someone evil, then fuck it. I mean, I don't give a shit. I'm really bad with my words, but I have so many things inside me. I felt so sad because of the photo reporters. They want to get an image of me looking so bad. Is this how celebrities feel? How can they treat me like this? And she's probably just tearing up and crying this whole entire time, and everyone's making fun of her for it. Who's the real monsters, right? Chat look like the chat that was making fun of her and slandering her during the press conference. They look like the monsters to me, and they're gonna do this to someone that they're labeling crazy. any company can easily come out and label someone else crazy. Are they going to attack the next person? Again, this looks like the LeSserafin hate train that just moved on and hating on MHJ. Time for questions. What was the internal report? OBS admin. I wanted HYBE to pull themselves together. I'll see how things go and release it later. It was me saying, if you have something to say, then come and fight me fairly. There are things that we can't disclose at the moment, but we want to make a change internally, so we only notify the executives. But at this moment, it's hard to reveal anything. You're going to hold a shareholders meeting on April 30th. Will the music video be revealed tomorrow? Yes. So it looks like the music video is going to be revealed. Like probably a trailer or teaser. Interestingly, she managed to get a chat on her side later on. If I find it, because she was cursing the people. I think people appeal. She is getting emotional, right? But she has kind of a right to. However, I do think eventually it might backfire on her, because like there are things that she said here that the lawyers are probably want her to keep quiet. But this situation is an emotionally draining situation. And again, if things are emotional, that means it's time to take a step back, right? And I think it's better for her at this point of the meeting to take a step back, compose herself, and then, you know, but maybe that's part of her like publicity stunt, is she wants to appear emotional to get people to side with her, and it seems to be working, and it seems to be an effective strategy. But I feel like the reason she probably did this is because of how badly the media is like mislabeling her or whatever. So, you know, I'm still looking at this objectively, right? But in no way am I like fully on any side at this moment. There's just so much unknowns with like the audit looming around, and then there's also things that Hee Jin cannot reveal. There are a lot of unknowns at this moment, but I can for sure say I'm not on one side. I'm definitely not on HYBE's side. Because the response that HYBE put out is not a rational response. Like, someone wants to solve something internally, and then you just go public with everything. That's not a reasonable, like, humane response. I'm sorry, that just doesn't look like a sane response to me. That's why I kind of believe her more, since she looks more sincere. Yeah. She's cursed, and she's super frustrated at this point, because everything she's tried to do has not worked. And she is at her wit's end. Right? She doesn't know what to do anymore. So of course she's gonna give it her all here and just like kind of lash out. Why do we need to be damaged because of HYBE? I want to sue HYBE. They told me to hand in my laptop yesterday, then disclose a different date from others. They're lawyers from Kim and Chang. I'm just a normal person from art school. How can I tell my story? It's only HYBE stories that are getting out. But I'm so grateful for everyone helping along the way, including reporters. How can they treat me like this after everything I've done? The only thing I can appeal to is sincerity. I wish that this public relations culture would change. Please, I wish reporters would listen to the story of the little ones. Please write the story of the little ones. It's so unfair. I didn't even know how to play this game. Keep an eye out if they promote new like the way they're doing now. Again, it is an unfair world. Like, if you go against the big dogs, you will be fighting an uphill battle. You are not going to get a fair case in court. You are not going to get a fair publicity hearing. You are not going to get anything fair. So in the sense that she's able to speak her mind out like this, I would say I've never heard a case like this before. I've never followed anything like this. It is truly unbelievable. It's giving like an actual K-drama plot. Regarding the shareholders meeting, we cannot harm the groups. We're going to proceed with everything. There's nothing decided regarding shareholders meeting because the situation is so complicated. Did Bang Si-Hyuk ask to see you? No. Do you ask to meet with him? Park Ji-won's in the middle, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's like how married couples don't want to see each other before their divorce. Our relationship worsened because of LeSserafin. I'm sorry, but we never met afterwards. And this is the part where she brings LeSserafin back into the conversation. We haven't heard her mention LeSserafin for a while now. The multi-label independence, it is not kept well. MTNS, referring to HYBE's somewhat unique setup and a number. So HYBE's been running around and just buying like all these subsidiaries up, right? We did like a MS Paint, what do you even call it? Do I have it? Yeah, I still have it from last stream. We did, like, they're just going around just buying groups, buying labels, debuting like groups after group after group. There's no way you can have enough care and attention to all the groups. So something's got to give and take. Like, the CEO and the chairperson are only like one person of each, right? It's not like they can look after every single group, but to ignore specific groups and then use this public slander strategy doesn't seem sincere to me. I feel like they are looking after profits, which a company should, but at the cost of ADOR. At least the CEO, right? They really want to get rid of her at this point, but they want to keep NewJeans. I'm not trashing anyone when it comes down to governance. There's a shared function from the central system, like HR, IT, Labels could differ in idea in some way, but HYBE still wants to control the labels and make things easy. Each label needs to keep its uniqueness, like with Illit or Alit. I'm not talking trash about them, they're innocent, the members. See, again, she doesn't want to direct the hate towards them because she understands like the situation. And everyone's saying that she wants to drag them down. Like she kind of states it here, right? Like, you got to take these words at face value. Maybe you don't believe it. Maybe you think that she's still lying at this point. She's manipulating or whatever. But, you know, from everything that she's said so far, I'm inclined to believe it. Again, I'm not saying I'm on MHJ's side. I'm just inclined to believe certain things. Other things that are kind of bullshit to me, I'll point it out and I'll be like, yeah, I don't kind of agree with that. She 100%, even from the beginning, she wanted to resolve this peacefully. It's an adult to have sinned. They just copy our formulas. We have NewJeans. It's obvious that ADOR will compare us to what they did. They should have never gone with the multi-label system. Should have done what SM and HYBE do. When someone copies something, does it well, it brings everyone down. It brings the whole industry down. It damages shareholder value. I don't care about being cursed at, but I feel relieved I can talk about everything today. Everything needs to change. And again, this is like kind of what's happening in the K-pop industry, right? We see one group like do really well, and then another group tries to copy the concept. They want to do the exact same thing. Ever since the beginning of the survival like K-pop idol shows, like Produce 101, they like happen, and then now there's a bunch of other shows, right? And then everyone wants to do the groups like that. But again, if Produce 101, if they're not doing it well, and another group does it well, then it kind of, you know, you can't hold on to that forever. You can't hold on to like a K-pop survival group show. It's just like you can't copyright that concept, right? Because idol like survival shows have been around for a bit. Maybe not to the extent of Produce 101, but I'm pretty sure survival shows have been around. Like Survivor has been like a thing forever. But again, it's I don't know if this vision of hers will come true, because I think people will copy, and it's very hard to prove that someone copied. However, I do have to say, when Islet first came out, everyone was like, this is NewJeans. Why make the mess more messier? I think HYBE, I don't know what HYBE's ultimate end goal is. Like, I always ask myself this. When something happens, what is the end goal, right? So, like, ask yourself when the haters, like, hate tweet, what's the end goal? There is none. For this, there has to be some form of end goal. It might be, like, the CEO and the chairperson at HYBE wanting to get back at her. Or something internally, like I don't know, maybe she's feigning some type of ignorance here about what the situation is and why she's being targeted. Maybe she truly doesn't know, right? We don't know. And for people to run around social media saying they know 100% and she's evil for doing this, I think it's fucking insane. It's crazy that you would go around social media and parrot something as truth when you have no idea. If those people actually had social media accounts and channels, they would be responsible and liable for damages. Because at that point, it's like you're just spreading fake news, right? There's a reason certain people are banned off YouTube for spreading fake news. And I get that a lot of these accounts are very small accounts. That's why they get away with it. But some of these bigger accounts, they know better. Might have been rash decision of Bang Si-Hyuk spearheaded Illit, but it couldn't take the accusations. It could be, right? It could be retaliation, emotional. And I think the fact that HYBE is trying to get rid of her instead of trying to resolve the issue shows that maybe there's also some problems in management, or they really have something on her that they haven't shown yet, right? So this is only day 4. Day 5 tomorrow, maybe we wake up to something even more crazy. Reason we'll have photo cards but do random gifts, please. If I picture every celebrity, it becomes a dictionary. Album prices don't go up, but production cost does. Oh, that's interesting. If we don't make random gifts, people compare each member's popularity. That's why we don't make them. I don't like random gifts either. I want to compete fairly with content. That is interesting. The reason they don't have photo cards but do random gifts. Are photo cards really that profitable in the K-pop industry? I micromanage because that's taking responsibility. I wish other companies would stop doing that. You mess up the market if you do this. Then it messes with the stock market. NewJeans also want to hold an autograph event for NewJeans, but I think the only rights to hold it with the members who want to. But what pisses me off at HYBE is take credit for NewJeans. That goes against ethics. They don't even respect the consumers. Damn. Min's tirade continues. I know I look crazy, but I don't act elegant. I'm tender inside. That's why I'm explicative. I'm freaking saying all this. There's no one like me in this industry. Only people who make money make more money. But I wish people do some sort of ideology would lead the industry, not just people who are crazy about making money. What is your response to the highest demand for you to step down? How are the members? It's so difficult. NewJeans and I have something more than you should know. They always tell me that they want to thank me and love me. Hani told me she'd come over to me. Heron is usually like a cat and doesn't speak a lot, but she called me and told me she couldn't come up with the words to text me. She says she wanted to hear my voice. Heron cried for 20 whole minutes. She told me that she thanks me so much because I helped her through hard times. She says she wants to tell me everyone what happened. The members' mothers are so worried that I'm gonna kill myself. But why would I? I'm gonna say everything I have in my heart. Do you know what Park Ji-won said to the mothers? He said he's not gonna talk to them, just to ADOR. And they said that they care about NewJeans. I don't care whether they sue me for libel. Damn. If this statement here doesn't make you flip-flop to the other side, I don't know what will. There is no humanity left in you. And I get it, right? Don't be emotional, think about it. But if what she says is true, then we might have a new culprit. HYBE might be actually going after the wrong person at this point. HYBE might actually be going after the wrong person. And this is actually a really good tactic. She's deflecting everything onto the middleman. Because partly this person is responsible for everything that is happening right now. Oh, look at her. What's going to happen in the future? It's difficult for us to go together. I'm not interested in taking control. HYBE did all this. It's not my fault to take NewJeans. It's not my effort to take NewJeans. Min Hee Jin answers. How can they do this to me with NewJeans Tokyo Dome concert coming up? We have a plan until the end of the year, and HYBE is acting like it doesn't care. Because NewJeans has nothing planned without me and is acting like it doesn't care. Holy chat, it's just... I can't imagine being up here for 2 hours just speaking your heart out. And like, she's been holding this in for what? Like, weeks at this point? Months? And has asked if she plans to break her contract with HYBE. No, not at all. I mean, she says she's kind of like enslaved there, right? Like the contract is pretty much locking her there. Like she cannot leave. How could you ask me? The reason I came forward today is because NewJeans content comes out tomorrow. I knew if I didn't say anything today, people would talk badly about them tomorrow. Again, she's literally looking out for NewJeans, right? Even though, like, it sounds like she could be looking out for her bottom line, she explicitly says like she wants to look out for NewJeans. Like it is like that's all she cares about at this point. And throughout this whole thing, she mentioned like the Seraphim once or twice. She mentioned the BTS thing like once, and all of social media is like painting it out like that's all she talked about, which is not true. Again, like I don't know who are these social media accounts going around. I have some of these tweets like pulled up on the top of the tab. If you guys see here, like these we're gonna go after some of these because it's some fucking bullshit, man. Again, I don't know. But these other accounts, like they're not willing to come out and say I don't know. They're literally parroting stuff as truth. In that part of the interview, the MHJ is using NewJeans as a shield, mentioned her crying for 20 minutes. She said that, but she's just saying the situation. That's not using them as a shield. I don't think that's using them as a shield. She's just saying this is the situation right now. This is the emotional distress that this whole situation is. Can we please resolve it internally? That's all she's asking for. She lays out the situation and like, oh yeah, using them as a shield. Well, what about HYBE? Well, HYBE's using like BTS and LE SSERAFIM as a shield, right? Like how are we saying one thing about one side, but we're literally not looking at the other side doing the exact same thing? Like HYBE is now trying to use BTS as a shield because they know BTS has a big fan base, and if they paint Min Hee Jin as like the enemy of BTS, then you get a lot more hate going from that direction as well. Allegedly, Min is asking if she plans to break. Yeah, what's her project 1945? Min is asked. It wasn't a conversation. It was just a memo by the vice CEO. They came to me and cried yesterday. Min cuts in. They thought that I was gonna kill after the attorneys meeting the previous day. HYBE Chief Strategy Officer Lee Jae-sang threatened the vice CEO, threatening them how much it would cost them if they were reported for a breach of trust. So they went to HYBE, and the HYBE CFO, Lee Kyung-jung, berated them. They wanted to explain it wasn't what it seemed. They forced it out of them. You can cross-check me with anyone. Wait, so the document, the Project 1945, that was like made up, right? Now we're getting accused that this is apparently made up. It was just like a memo. Jesus Christ, this drama goes deep. It keeps growing. Where did the memo come from? The renegotiating contract didn't go well regarding both the company and NewJeans. It's just a memo with the individual thoughts jotted down. Are you going to start? So it's not even like a document where they're like plotting. It's just they wrote it down during a conference and that's it. They wrote it down on a post-it note and then they found it. So they're, Jesus Christ. How are they sure that Emma is just using NewJeans and HYBE is not? Could it be the other way around? It 100% could be. 100% could be. Are you going to step down? How can the HYBE multi-label system work? Bang Si-Hyuk needs to keep his hands off the labels. Not that he's not capable. Oh shit! Now that's some fucking shade. Big Hit, Playlist, and Source are produced by Bang Si-Hyuk. If a chairman gets involved, then people suck up to you. Other labels do weird things to look good. It's just human nature. Fair. The only way this can be prevented is the top man keeps away. If they get involved, you naturally end up talking about who's favorite and who's not. A melting paper, environmental. Are you kidding me? You need to stop making albums to be environmental. Oh, so I don't know what happened here. She's starting to go over like talking about, I guess, like being green. So this part is like a little off tangent, right? So I can see why Twitter is like starting to call her crazy for that, but I don't know where this came from. Like she just brought this out of nowhere, or is this like a previous conversation that they had before? Government needs a proper roadmap, and owner should be prevented a copycat from arising, not encourage one. Yeah, again, like Islet growing in the company, like no one else said, hey, this is kind of like NewJeans, maybe we shouldn't. There must be like a bunch of eyeballs that looked at it and said, yeah, no, you're good. So every single one of them is complicit. Definitely a mistranslation. I don't know if it's a mistranslation. I wonder if this has to do with something that's a big thing in K-pop culture right now that we don't understand. I need to stop making albums to be environment. Maybe it's not a mistranslation, but there's an idiom here that I just don't understand. All I can think is they're trying to kill NewJeans. They're making our thing old. Why would they do this on the same team? It's not about respecting creative rights. Why are you copying it? The posters for NewJeans and Islet's label B-Lift Lab are exactly the same. Really, it is. The Hanbok pictorial never existed before us. Then Islet just copied it exactly. You can't tell them apart. Does anyone have a side-by-side of this by any chance? Hanbok pictorial. Okay, I'm gonna Google Hanbok pictorial NewJeans. Okay, so this is NewJeans, and they were the face. They literally are the face at the Incheon airport. And then Islet. So that's still NewJeans. I don't see the Islet one. Look, I feel like Hanboks are just a popular Korean thing. I feel like her claim here isn't that strong. That's NewJeans, and this is Islet. Because I started to recognize some of these faces. Because a hanbok is a traditional Korean wear, right? But hanbok pictorial. But do I mean, like, look, other people do it too. WJSN. I feel like this claim's weak. This is a weak claim. You can't tell them apart. I feel like you could easily tell some of them apart. So this part's like not the strongest claim. These intentions are impure. We debut with the Chanel event. HYBE never got that advert for us. So it looks like she worked really hard for NewJeans and she's getting scuffed. Can we check the posters for NewJeans? Like which posters? I think if we compare this one to Islet, right? Oh, I love this song. What is this? This is Sticker Brush. Yeah, Sticker Brush Symphony. It used to be my outro song. Okay, so if we compare this one with this one, then yeah, this is like almost like identical, right? But there's not much but similar enough, right? Because if you copy the music style and then you copy the poster, there has to be someone in the company that's like responsible for these type of things, and they definitely did a bad job here. And they're probably in so much deep shit for not catching this. Advertiser NewJeans want to apologize for concerning them. Anyway, we debuted it with Chanel. That wasn't our intention. It just happened to take place before a TV show. I thought it could be new. Then Islet did it with Acne. They just took the formula. It's not purely intentional. Why did you use our choreography? I asked them, and they didn't answer us. Our choreographers are so pissed. It would be so wrong for us to not say anything. They're ruining Islet too. Damn. Minus asked if she's resigning. I don't know, the Dorcio says. Do you want to remain at HYBE? All I care about is NewJeans. I have no intention of taking the company. I don't even care if anybody else owns the company. All I'm asking is they leave us alone. Asked if she's in talks to fix her contract. We were, then this happened. What's HYBE answer to the internal report? The audit was their answer. They just raided us. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was like an audit. It just seemed more like a raid. Like honestly, from my point of view, that's what it looks like. A fan disguised as a reporter attempts to ask a question. Another question from so that guy's question didn't even get answered or brought up. They just like kicked them out, I guess. Another question from TV Daily. Wasn't your discussion take over the company something grave? You need to ask the vice CEO. But it was just a mood swing. One moment, I said that we couldn't leave this place. It wasn't even about taking NewJeans outside. We just needed them to leave us alone. But if they kick us out, then tough luck. If Bang Si-Hyuk wants to talk, will you be willing to do so? Yes, but they never did. If they asked me to talk, I would have. I'd do it for the sake of NewJeans. Min begins to wrap up. I thank the reporters. I'm not trying to say I'm the right one. I just want to say things candidly. It's not really about the money. I'm not taking this lightly. Again, I think this is like, she might not be the one in the right. HYBE might not be the one in the wrong, but there is a way to solve this and make sure that everything is like handy dandy. So I think we really have to wait to see what HYBE's next move is. I think they're probably going to continue with the audit. They're probably going to keep going with the raid. But I think from what I see here, I don't see this as like manipulation, right? Maybe like the Twitter fans will have you believe otherwise. Like, I'm already manipulated. But this doesn't seem like someone that is trying to go after profits. She's not this greedy persona that social media paints her out to be. She truly is looking out for a group. She wants to just do her thing. Like, her actions are speaking louder than the words, right? Like, she debuted a group, it was successful. She's asking why another company would copy her and why HYBE is basically letting them get away with it. And then here comes a raid. Here comes the audit. Yeah, she's fucking rich. She can fix me. They're both wrong for making this public, though. I think it seems like she's attacking back publicly. So my understanding of the timeline is she wanted to solve this internally, and then HYBE, like, her or HYBE caused the stink, and then this kind of spiraled out of control. So they're both kind of in the wrong. They're both adults, and the people that are actually suffering from this are the girl groups, both groups, right? Because at the end of the day, this is going to impact sales. But there is a chance for the fans to show their support and make sure that they all come out of this by using their wallets, right? And it sucks that it falls down to the fans for this. But if people stop supporting both these groups because of it, then that's a net loss to the entire company, right? And this whole situation is just a terrible mark in history, and it will go down in history. I think in terms of drama, I haven't seen anything like this. Again, I didn't come into K-pop content with like a long history. I'm pretty new at this, but I do want to understand what actually is going on, and I'm glad I waited a bit to before I jumped on the train to slander, right? Because that seems to be the trendy thing. If you want views, you just make fun of MHJ, you call her crazy, you get views. 100%. You make a shitty meme, bam, you get it. I'm not about that. I don't care about that. I just want to know what's really happening behind the scenes. Like, the curiosity is what's driving me right now. Yeah, it's very easy, right? Like, you know what's even easier than making K-pop content? Say you like Taylor Swift, make a channel that praises Taylor Swift and go and make news about Taylor Swift. You get all the Swifties. Guaranteed 100k views per video. Guaranteed. It's not about would it take it to push you to do something like that? Imagine yourself being so bound to one company forever. Wouldn't that suffocate you? You think of ways you can break free. Some days you feel good and some days you don't. But it was just the talk among us on Kakao Talk and memos that right between us. Our relationship is bad, but I saw what happened at 50-50. I'm not dumb. Poor 50-50. If Park Ji-won and Bang Si-Hyuk had even said once, why are you doing this? Then I could have talked. But I had to resort to an internal report because they never listened to us. Again, she started an internal report, and then HYBE kind of just retaliated by making this whole thing public. I don't think she went public first. I think she went more public and made it even messier. But as someone in the industry, she probably thought this is the best way to go about it, or her attorneys advised her to do this, because we're not experts on Korean economy, right? We don't know exactly what's the best way to navigate this. And it seems like the way she was trying to do it just wasn't working. So that's why she resorted to this. Worried about the groups are doing right now? They're in between. They're stuck in the middle. I think the groups will be fine. I think this kind of situation is going to be a little rough, but K-pop fans are K-pop fans at the end of the day. They're going to support the groups no matter what. There are some more fickle fans, some fans that will stop supporting because of this situation, but I think the majority of them are actually spending money buying albums and stuff. I don't think it's going to affect them. I think this whole situation isn't going to impact Islet or NewJeans. If anything, this is getting more publicity in the eyes of NewJeans, and from what I've seen in the comments, people are supporting NewJeans. They're protective of NewJeans. And what if this is all a dream? We just wake up tomorrow and all the drama's gone. We received a letter from HYBE asking to hold a shareholders meeting. We were surprised that the management seemed making news because it's impossible when a company has 80% of shares. I made a divorce analogy, but they were making a frame out of very personal things that were said in a divorce fight. The vice CEO is a funny person. If you knew us, then the conversation would make sense. I just want to ask HYBE why they want to make everything a problem. Yeah, also a lot of things like you say and talk about get lost in translation and like accent wise when you just read it as text. Like if you read me as subtitles, right? I call things idiots. I call people idiots a lot. And I say it in a way that's like kind of joking. But if all you had is like my subtitles to go off, you think I'm the biggest dickhead in the world. You think I just call everyone a fucking idiot all the time. So I think that's why she wants to have the conversation. And I don't know why, as like CEO, you like don't want to talk to like another, or like as a chairperson, you don't want to talk to another CEO of a company. Like I get you might be busy, but come on. Just want to ask HYBE why are they making this a big deal? I feel like they might just be hoping that Hee Jin would have just let this whole thing slide and just left the company or something. But the fact that she stayed and is fighting for NewJeans to keep NewJeans, I don't think they anticipated that. It might be like the toxic Korean culture where they think like girls will just roll over and do anything a guy says, right? That could be a possibility, allegedly. Allegedly makes no sense here, but that could be a possibility, right? We just don't know. We don't know what the hell is going on in the brains of these multi-millionaires. Why didn't they just talk to me ahead of it? They pushed me into an internal report. There's no attempt at all to take over the company, lawyer Lee Suk-mi continues. Only when a very specific solid plan is made and can be, then it becomes a crime. Yeah, so they're trying to say she's a criminal. She looks like a criminal, but she hasn't done anything that's a crime. She hasn't actually implemented any of the things that they said. She hasn't implemented external investors. Her external consultation was her asking a legal question and trying to understand the situation. It's not about the money for me. I can't say anything further. It's got to do with the contract. Told you we're negotiating a contract, but Island made things worse. I asked her not to make them trouble because it would worsen her relationship. She went forward because she said she wanted to make things right. And that is the conference. They clapped and they went their separate ways. Here is some footage. This is probably one of the biggest things that's happening in the K-pop industry right now. They wanted to confuse people. I mean, she came with the receipts, chat. Like, it's hard to... Again, this is not the full receipts, right? So maybe there's more that might implicate, like, that she's doing something ill, but... It's just... It's all messy. It is so messy. Alright, so that is the entire court case. And now we understand the basis of the court case. We can go in some of the tweets. So the first tweet, a thread, and they're saying a history of plagiarism from Islet. I haven't seen this like thread through. I just pulled it up. It's the first thread we're starting here. All right, some stance are uncertain, controversial, like into these make reader hate. The fandom's kind of crazy, man. Orsted discovered magnetic force, but Islet, it'd be okay to debut a song called Magnetic. Oh god, this is a shitpost. They debuted as a 5-member girl group who did it. Itzy and oh god, it's a shitpost thread. That one kid from Islet. Poor Juan, he's hair volume, dude. Yeah, this is a brain rot thread. Oh my god. Oh no. Alright, what kind of account's doing this? Mocha's PR manager. Okay, so it's a shitpost account making a shitpost thread. Okay, got it. CEO Hee Jin has exposed HYBE with confirmed proofs at her press conference. She also said try to crush the career of aespa and HYBE. Yeah, that was one segment that was talked to. I hope you guys keep this hate the hype and not start hating on artists because they're not the ones at fault. Yes, they're an actual good take. Not even surprised. That's what corporation does, and if Hee Jin doesn't like it, she can go home. We've seen that she doesn't want to just go home because she wants to do what's right, which is pretty rare in the industry. If anything, K-pop fans should be like, yeah, I wish more CEOs actually took that approach instead of bailing when things look bad and then letting someone else come in and disband your group. I feel like when things happen, like new people come in, they don't care about your group, they care about profits, and if they can't turn a profit, then they disband your group, and then they come around and just blame another person for doing it, where clearly the only person that cared was kicked out of the industry because everyone was posting brain rot memes. At the fact that HYBE tried to steal opportunities from ATEEZ to release a new Riot song that was written and produced to sing, finally gave to NewJeans. That Riot had with a K-pop group throughout made things a bit scarier than usual. Recording for an anthem is a moment where you really like to be all together to do it. Riot, there was a massive sigh of relief. Sounded great with the voices despite song written for male vocals. What is this? ATEEZ was featured in the Music Awards 2013 play. aespa, I have Blackpink. What other groups next? I am invested. So I mean I don't know anything, but it just seems like people just want to hate on something. That's what it seems like. People just want to hate on something. So they hate it on MHJ, and then that's not trendy anymore. Now today they hate on HYBE, right? That's literally what the hate train is fucking doing. aespa's name is cleared. This whole time yeah, I don't think Blackpink was mentioned at all. Oh, the thread's gone. Wait, Chad, is the thread gone? Oh no, that person just deleted their tweet. Hee Jin revealed that Bang asked her if she could step on aespa. However, she replied that was never my goal. HYBE, you would never be able to step on this power vocal house with your weak whispers. What is this? Yeah, again, a lot of the fandom don't seem to have any leg on to stand on their own, so they literally just side with whatever side has more people. Like K-pop thoughts, right? They're totally pro HYBE, and then now today they're like kind of anti HYBE, and why are you standing a company, right? Again, it's not the same people. It might be different people, but when a majority turns into another majority, it just seems like people are just following whatever is popular. And if they see something that has like 2 upvotes, then they'll upvote. If they see it has 2 downvotes, then they keep downvoting. It's crazy. I get so much hate during the debut days. Reminds me of the aespa train hate too. Now we know who did the dirty works. So yeah, now everyone's painting Bang Si-Hyuk as the bad guy today. So welcome to the trend. We're hating on another guy now. Hee Jin discussed the reaction she got from Bang Si-Hyuk after NewJeans charted on Billboard. Are you having fun? And then she laughs. Why are you laughing? I'm really curious if you are. What are you curious about? If you're enjoying NewJeans charting and being successful, why is she not enjoying it? Like, it's such a weird statement to say. All of you guys who don't speak Korean, if you read the way Bang's shit asks these questions who are on the screen capture, it comes across in an extremely mocking and condescending way, as if he's belittling their success. He is mad because NewJeans did it before that group. He won't. Oh no. Knet's starting to turn around after MHJ press conference. Something humorous about all this show. Knets are asking where they can buy her outfit. Now it's sold out. Her sweater is sold out, chat. They are so unserious. Sometimes Knets are funny. Girlie is literally fighting for her life. She's crying at a conference. Meanwhile, they're like, cute shirt. And anyone know where I can get that too? MHJ is the it girl of 5th gen. Oh my god. Islet versus NewJeans fans. Yeah, Eunice is just kind of chilling on their own, you know. Also, chat, if you missed the react we did the other day, let me segue this a little bit. Again, I'm not staring the hate train towards, you know, like the hate. There's no hate here. We're all just trying to understand and enjoy. We're looking into this conversation because it's very interesting. We're not here to hate. So for the people that are looking for a recent react, we reacted to Sowan on Lee Mujin service the other day and is available for free on Patreon. So again, all the stuff on my Patreon is free at this moment. No intention to make any of this cost money. Any of the stuff that's posted, So if you want to go over there and check out some stuff, we already got some comments. So yeah, it's free stuff on the Patreon. High payola this, high payola that. Chanel themselves proposed an ad for NewJeans. These intention, I've never got the advert. The advertisers came to us. So again, this whole thing, if you're calling like one group payola, like they pay to get charted or whatever, a lot of groups probably do it. And in this case, it looks like Chanel did it for NewJeans. So NewJeans never had to, ADOR never had to pay, right? So someone else foot the bill. So in this case, it's like you can't just like why wouldn't you pay to make your group popular, right? If it costs less money to make your group chart, then you know then it costs to chart, and you make profit from the chart them charting to make yourself more popular and people buy more albums. Then yeah, it's just the cost of business. Is it sincere? No. Are loud backtracks sincere? No. Does it make good music? Yes. Do more people hear it and more people get exposed to it? Yes. It's just business. Don't look at it as evil. Look at it as like, is this a practice that, you know, is ethical? Is it scummy? Does it work? At the end of the day, did it achieve the goal, right? I'm not saying it's like ends like justify the means, but sometimes the means isn't as evil as people paint it out to be. And to slander a strategy and call it bad and want to attribute it to one side because you want your side to look better, I think it's just too fanboy for me. That's not the kind of route I want to go down. Again, like payola, advertising, it's all the same term, right? But one just sounds bad and one looks bad. And then one is used on social media to slander another group. I blame him completely for how hyper-competitive and chart-obsessed K-pop has come. That I don't know if you want to attribute primarily to one person, but it is a very cutthroat industry. And the industry is done that way because there are a lot of people that want to be a part of it. You know, like you could say the streaming and content creation space is also very, very cutthroat. 100% you could say that. But who's at the blame? Are you going to blame Mr. Beast for that? No. Are you going to blame the people that are successful and able to make it? No. You got to blame the system, right, that allows these kind of things to exist. Like, why is there no regulation for this, right? Why does Korea have chaebols that literally own the wealth, and they're continuing to own the wealth, and it never gets distributed? And they have so much power in the Korean economy and in political systems. Same thing in the US. Why do billionaires have so much power, right? It's the systems that allow to do it. Old quote, don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't think it's one person's fault, right? I think the industry as a whole has turned into this very cutthroat thing. It used to be fun, but now weird as fuck. I agree. People not enjoying things, competition become toxic. Yeah, again, I think the problem, this might be a weird take, right? But the problem is not that competition breeds toxicity. It's the lack of sportsmanship in modern competition. Because people are competing when they have no right to compete, where they shouldn't compete. Think about rank queue in competitive League of Legends, right? It's people that shouldn't be in the queue, forced to play in the queue. They play in the queue with no sportsmanship. They don't understand respect for a common man, and they're forced into this competitive system where they're truly like clawing at each other's throats, where it's supposed to be like GG, and then you move on to the next game. And then you like respect your fellow man. But they're not taught this. They're thrown into a system where people are just competitive, and then people look up to the shittiest, most toxic person. Think about some of the top League of Legends streamers and why they get popular, right? Like they act childish. They act maybe this is like slander, right? But I'm not saying it is. I'm saying this is what the environment space looks like. And these are people that are thrown into a competitive space without sportsmanship. And again, these are young people online on social media that are trying to be competitive with their groups without being taught respect for your fellow man. And again, it's unsupervised social media consumption. And who do you blame for that? FNF, you're rich, please buy out. I don't think HYBE is gonna sell anything. I think they really want NewJeans. They just don't want the CEO of ADOR. Yeah, so that was a completely unrelated take, but modern toxicity is competitiveness without sportsmanship. I think that's what it is. All right, a child showing up to her boss's house to comfort him is weird. Like, just really inappropriate. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I think if you think about it like an employee showing up to their boss, then it's not really that weird. It's not. But in this situation or whatever, she truly, I feel like she feels like she's a mom to them. And if you think of it as employee to boss, it's not weird. But there's this obsession with everyone trying to paint people as like PDF files. I'm saying it in that way because I don't want to like get banned or anything or go against TOS. But there's this weird obsession in the K-pop industry that everyone's trying to paint each other as this negative thing in social media as a whole, because in a lot of people's brains, you win an argument if you can just say the other person is like a creep. People are oversensitive. It's giving them a meaning that it's their brain at fault. I think it's just like social media brain rot, right? Like, think about how many times you heard a bunch of people get together slandering someone, and then ultimately they call them a PDF file, and then they win the whole argument, right? It's all about winning on these online arguments. It's about winning and debating. It's not about, are you right, are you wrong, what's the outcome, did we learn something? It's about, did I win, did you lose, did I make you look bad? And a lot of this is like, if I just call you a name that you can't come back from, then I win. It's the biggest win. And that's why there's so many like accusations about like creeps and stuff. Rip TikTok in the US, I see it as a good thing. I think people also need to think about when the TikTok dies, right? TikTok Notes is going to spring up. So TikTok is just going to become TikTok Notes. And in addition to that, people on TikTok are just going to leak into other social medias. The people that use TikTok aren't going away. The people that use TikTok are still here. TikTok is gone as an app. They're just going to trickle into the other app spaces. YouTube Shorts is going to turn into another TikTok, or Instagram Reels is just going to turn into TikTok. It is what it is. And morning to you. This I feel like the most I've learned from this is there's one thing worse than a K-pop stan that is like too invested, and that is a K-pop company stan, because company stans just make no sense. Like, why would you stan someone that's literally just out there trying to make a profit regardless of what you feel about the situation? Like, if you are ruined and the company can make a profit from it, they'll ruin you 10 times over. Why would you stan someone like that? Like, company stans make no sense to me, especially with all the dirt that is happening in the K-pop space. Why would you stan a K-pop company? It just shows you have no morals at all. HYBE will report, file a criminal complaint with the appropriate police action. I hope they do, and I hope that we get to see what they actually have on her, because it still sounds like a bunch of he said, she said bullshit that's coming out from this situation. Why? Because she spilled all the dirty secrets on them? Yeah, it's too late. It's already out there. She said everything in the press conference. Oh, and this is a thing that really exposes the K-pop fandom, right? So this is someone, you can see their account here. Praying Twice albums flop tomorrow. I needed to underperform. Praying Twice album goes #1 again and it's successful. They're just playing both sides of the coin, man. K-pop fans are just like, they're shitting and then they're praising at the same time, and then whatever gets more likes, they delete the other one. K-pop fandom caught live playing both sides. Literally cannot lose. The switch up is real. And also apparently the Blackpink fandom knows that this person just fucking posts everywhere. She wants someone that adopts her, but nobody wants that motherfucker. Already got a family. Jeez. If NewJeans weren't really that close, then going to her house cover is not that deep. It's not like NewJeans members went over and then stayed in bed with her and cuddled with her, right? Maybe they came over for dinner, and you know, like, dinner with your boss is not the fucking weirdest thing in the world. Like, obviously, like, NewJeans' parents probably went with her, right? We don't know. We don't know any of the deets. They just want to make it look as bad as it can. Hee Jin shares the NewJeans have been calling her. I messaged her parents. They've been crying for me. Yeah, why doesn't HYBE care about any of the parents? HYBE barely even cares about NewJeans at this point, it seems. They care that they want NewJeans, allegedly. Why hasn't HYBE talked to any of the parents? Like, do they forget that these are K-pop idols that are very young and they do have parents? Most of them aren't, like, 16, 17 are still pretty young. I'm not saying they're like children, right? But teenagers, they still have parents. They still have legal guardians. Why isn't HYBE going, like, talking to any of the parents about this? Like they slander Hee Jin for going after the parents, but she's not going after parents. She's just comforting the parents, right? Why isn't HYBE doing any of that? Does HYBE really think that their K-pop stans can make every single decision for themselves at a young age of 15, 16? I highly doubt it. These are people that are easily manipulated. If anything, the other side is manipulating the K-pop idols. Only in it for the money? Yeah. They want the money. They want the success. That's why they came through and like created the second group that's almost identical. Hee Jin does not want Sakura in a group because, oh, here's another from the other side. She prefers teenagers. She wants it to be Hee Jin's girl group and not be overshadowed by Sakura's presence. She can't manipulate Sakura and knows Sakura will probably clock her ass. Like who? Why wouldn't you want? Look. If Sakura has a fan base, like a pre-existing fan base, then that means it's very limited what you can do with the debut, right? Like, I'm glad Sakura is having success, but this screams like, she's not young enough for Hee Jin. Like, Sakura have her own Japan managed for her, so Hee Jin can't intervene. Let's create another narrative. Here's the tweet that I think is the most sensible out of this thread. Let's create another narrative that might be true. Hee Jin PD wants NewJeans debut first that had title of the first girl group of BTS. She chose those that are not yet famous so she can mold their image. Why she's against using Sam Sakura, who has a strong fandom. This makes way more sense than this other tweet up here. Like, this makes way more sense. Like, you wanna create a girl group that's in your image, then you can't use pre-existing girl groups with pre-existing fandoms, right? That makes sense. That's reasonable. Can't manipulate her because Sakura will clock her ass. I highly doubt Sakura wants to fight anybody, even though she could. I'm pretty sure she's like probably a butterfly, right? Like, manifesting violence. Is that the stage we're on now? Is that the shitpost Twitter we're on? The man who ruined K-pop. Another Bang Si-Hyuk tweet. He made K-pop too global, accept the truth. K-pop was ready to globe, make K-pop hungry for Western validation. But is that truly what causes success? Is adhering to the West truly what makes your K-pop group successful? If success is what you're chasing for, shouldn't you go after China? Because here's an industry secret that's not so secret. If you have a product that is flopping, put it in China and you'll make a shit ton of money. You have a movie that flops, China. You have a TV show that flops, China. You have a brand that flops, China. Because there's a billion people there and they got some spending power. Could also do India, yeah. Unless it's beef, then you can't do India. So I feel like, why go after Western validation? We can go after China. All right. I feel like they should really start working K-pop into China, if it's not already. Hee Jin pointing out media favoritism towards HYBE. Yeah, so we read this during the court case, and you guys haven't seen this, but in the video itself during the conference hearing, every time she was about to say something and her lawyers would rush over and go, no, you can't say that, you can't say that. I think it's so funny. I think it's hilarious. Genuine wish she stopped mentioning Le Sserafim. They're getting enough warranted dragging. She's gonna inevitably add to that. I think the Le Sserafim dragging kind of ended, like, especially from my end, right? But maybe that's just because, like, I finally was able to tweak my Twitter. But she mentioned it twice because Le Sserafim is part of the timeline, and why this whole thing started was, it could be that she butted heads with the Le Sserafim CEO, like from Source Music. That's literally her plan. It's her intention to make this as messy as possible. She wants to drag everyone in the building down with her. I think even if she's dragging everyone down, who pushed her down in the first place, right? Are we not going to talk about, like, the elephant in the room, like what caused this whole entire controversy in the first place? Like, how is solving something internally dragging everything down, right? And it wasn't until it became public that she started to, like, actually fight for her life by, I guess, plucking whatever groups and just exposing how corrupt. Like, why is this person not saying how corrupt all the other companies are? But it's just one person is so evil that she's doing everything. You think if MHJ ends up leaving HYBE, leaving ADOR, that the company is just going to be squeaky clean going forward, and this won't happen with another group? Even if that's true, it sets such a bad precedent that says if you work for us and you have a successful concept and you butt heads wrong with the CEO or the chairperson, then we're gonna steal your idea and debut another group and literally take over. Allegedly. 100% she's been using NewJeans' eyelid serum to take the attention away from herself. She literally had a conference where she put herself in the center of attention. How is this? Her and Bang PD deserve each other, foul people. I guess this is like before the conference, right? But we've seen that she literally put herself in the center of all of attention. And she mentioned the Seraphim once, or probably twice in the whole thing. And then the BTS thing, like, I don't know how this fandom is like typing in full sentences at this point. One person versus entire company, they think MHJ has a granny. They think that I feel like a lot of K-pop fans are watching too much anime, man. One person isn't gonna do much against the company. If anything, you should be kind of critical about the group of people coming after one person and slandering one person. Why does it take so many people to bring one person down? Oh, and this is the official note response from HYBE after this whole thing. If this is true and they want to wait for the NewJeans like comeback to blow over, then that's great. But so far this is notice from HYBE from what claimed of CEO Hee Jin at the press conference today. There's so much that is far from the truth to the point difficult to go through them one by one. CEO Min distorted facts by mixing up the timeline, presenting a characteristic distorted way interpretation in public setting. We can refute all the claims with evidence. Okay, if you have the evidence, let's eventually see it. Decide not to mention them one by one to judge that they're not worth it. We can refute all the claims, but we don't want to because they are not worth responding to. I highly disagree with this statement. I think it's 100% worth responding to. I think not responding to this whole thing seems to be in not your best interest for any of the parties involved. However, we will diligently comment the fact that we must clearly state it in business terms, increase the media. We respectfully request CEOs stop lying that there are no offer for dialogue, there is no email response. Return the information assets as requested and respond promptly to the audit. We urge her to resign promptly for the proper management of the ADOR as she already proven so unfit to be in charge of management. Also, please stop continuing mentioning art and their parents as it degrades the value of the artists. Why does it degrade the value of the artists if the parents want what's best for the artists? Yeah, why not respond? It literally could end everything. Why do you want the laptop bad enough to stop her from, I guess, like, they really want NewJeans to flop, it sounds like. Because there's no timeline for the audit. Like, they'll say, hey, we need to audit you, right? And then they just keep her laptop until NewJeans' comeback. And then NewJeans flops, I guess. Like, that's their goal. And then they can pin the blame on MHJ again. Yeah, so we went through the press conference and we saw that. I don't think there's anything new here. Yeah, she did mention this. She tackled fans' concern about ADOR's conflict with HYBE, potentially ending similarity to the 50-50 dispute. She emphasized if money had been her main goal, she wouldn't have raised complaint. Agreed. If money was her main goal, if all she wanted to do was the evil, greedy thing, like they keep changing the narrative every time they get proven wrong, right? If money was the true main goal, she would have just fucking retired at that point. Like, she would have left and worked for JYP. She would have left to any other company. I'm pretty sure everyone wants Hee Jin. Like, she's been in the industry so long. And it seemed like HYBE really, really wanted her as well. Until they found out that someone else can copy her and debut another group that's similar. And then, you know, this is like the weird company stand Reddit post that I found. The big three for a reason, I guess, as if these companies also never did anything bad. JYP, like, I'm sure JY Poppy is trying to debut like brand new groups and not caring about the current groups and their problems. She will continue managing new kids. Yeah, if she literally doesn't care about the situation, she managed NewJeans, and then NewJeans, like, maybe Islet cannibalizes the market, maybe NewJeans doesn't do so well, eventually they disband, and then she goes on her merry way, she collects her paycheck. If she really is greedy, then that's what she does. There's no scenario where someone's greed is going to be like, I'm going to try to take over the entire company with my 20% share. It's insane. It's insane. But yeah, that is the summary of day 4. Right now we're going into day 5. Nothing has happened currently to my knowledge, but today's stream, well, tonight's stream, Friday night, we will go over day 5. If anything new comes up, I'm going to try to collect everything in one piece, and I'll try to have another stream similar to this one. And then we'll also go over some reacts, some other stuff. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. This is our stop. I have nothing more to share at this moment, and appreciate you guys for sticking around.